The Most Powerful Bible Stories, Part 3. If you think you've heard the most powerful stories already, think again. The Bible is filled with moments that prove no situation is too broken, no person too lost, and no battle too big. Let's dive into Part 3. The Fiery Furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow to a golden idol. They were thrown into a furnace so hot it killed the guards, but something incredible happened. Instead of 3 men burning, a 4th figure appeared in the flames. They didn't just survive, they walked out without even the smell of smoke on them. The lesson: faith doesn't mean you won't face fire. It means you won't face it alone. The woman at the well. In the midday heat, a woman draws water alone, avoiding judgmental stares. Jesus sits beside her and speaks with a dignity she's never known. He reveals her past, but doesn't condemn her. Instead, he offers living water. She leaves her jar behind and runs to tell the world. The lesson: your past does not disqualify you. One encounter can change your entire future. Lazarus raised. A grieving family. A sealed tomb. For days too late. Jesus arrives and calls out into the Lazarus, "Come out." Host, and the impossible happens. A man wrapped in burial cloth walks out into the light. The lesson: it's never too late for a miracle. What looks dead in your life may just be waiting for a calling. Joseph's rise. Betrayed by brothers, sold as a slave, and thrown into a dungeon. That was Joseph's life for years. But in the silence of the prison, he kept his wisdom. Overnight, Pharaoh called for him. Joseph went from prisoner to Prime Minister of Egypt. The lesson: your current struggle is not your final destination. Sometimes God is preparing you in private for a public promotion. Gideon and the 300. Gideon started with 32,000 men. But God reduced it to just 300 against a massive swarm. No swords, just torches, jars, and trumpets. When the jars broke, the enemy panicked. Victory came without a single traditional blow. The lesson: you don't need big numbers to win big battles. When fear says not enough, faith says more than enough. Elijah and the widow. A starving widow gathers sticks for her last meal. The prophet Elijah asks her to trust God and share her last bit of flour. She obeyed, and her jug of oil never dried up. Day after day, there was just enough. The lesson: sometimes your miracle starts with generosity. When you give your last in faith, provision multiplies. Paul and Silas. Chains on their wrists. Backs bruised. Locked in the dark. Instead of complaining, Paul and Silas started singing. At midnight, an earthquake shook the foundations. Doors flew open. Chains fell off. The lesson: praise in the middle of pain is powerful. Your breakthrough might begin with a song. Conclusion. From prison cells to palaces, from empty jars to overflowing provision, these stories remind us that faith changes outcomes. Which one encouraged you the most? Drop it in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for Part 4. And remember, what looks small today could be the start of something unstoppable.